Affecting change for survivors of gender-based violence cannot happen in isolation. It takes partnerships between different community organizations, between private and public sector, between community members to really change the dynamics of gender-based violence.
Ascend Justice is a community organization. It partners advocates with families, with individuals who need services, and the work that Ascend Justice does transforms lives. It ensures that families are in a safer and more stable place by providing resources, but also helping individuals and families navigate the legal system. As a person who has the privilege to be an attorney and practice law, I've felt it's my responsibility to provide those same services to individuals and organizations that need it and may not be able to afford it.
My name is Dominique Ward. I am a domestic abuse survivor and advocate, mom of identical twins, and the daughter of a former police officer. I take great pride in being a mom. I try to set a great example for my children. I come from a household where I was always taught to stand up for myself and to just be a good person. And if you can help someone else along the ride, then even better. I first encountered Ascend Justice because I was seeking legal assistance in an order of protection case I had against my former partner, also my children's father. The incidents of harassment basically started when I advised him that I was pregnant. I'd never seen that side of him before. It all came out in a downward spiral when he lost control of the situation. I was feeling a level of fear, a level of intimidation, a level of isolation. You kind of feel like you can't trust a lot of people. So my circle became extremely small during the height of the abuse. It was just, you're always looking over your shoulder. So just even taking the girls out for an outing, I had to really think about where we were gonna go.
Right away, Dominique was facing abuse and harassment, both electronically, verbally, and so I was assigned to help her navigate the order protection case.
Our goal in partnership with Dominique was to find avenues of advocacy to help prevent what happened to her from happening to other survivors.
And that's how you end up with a political operative and a publicist like me getting involved in a legal case of a cyber stalking survivor. I remember when Lindsay Nathan, the attorney from Ascend Justice, sent me the details of Dominique's case, and I was reading them over. I still remember where I was. I was sitting on my couch, and my jaw almost hit the floor. It was so shocking. I just knew that I had to pitch in and try to help her get through this however I could. And so the first thing that I did was compile all of the information and start calling reporters who I thought would do a good job of telling the story and getting it the attention that it needed.
I agreed to be interviewed by the Tribune because at that point in my case, I was extremely frustrated at the lack of help that I was receiving from not only the court system, but also the police. I had an order of protection, and every time I would go and report something, I was kind of like laughed at and mocked in the police station. And my abuser was not following any type of court order that was issued in my favor or just in general. And the court system was doing absolutely nothing about that.
Media has to play a critical role in your advocacy strategy because it's the way that you bring pressure, embarrass wrongdoers, and force people in power into action. And it's also a way to amplify the story of someone like Dominique. Her story may never have been on the radar of so many powerful people until it was in that Tribune story.
When I read the article in the Tribune, I was kind of blown away. Having a public force like the Tribune have eyes on the case and to bring public light to it was shocking, but it was also rewarding to get the truth out to the public.
After the story was published, there was a press conference to further explain the nuances of what happened in Dominique's case and potential avenues for solutions.
I run press conferences all the time as part of my work, but there was something so uniquely powerful about that one. Seeing Dominique and her team and Lindsay Nathan and Alderman Lee, the chair of the Women's Caucus, standing together and speaking to Dominique's experience and also broadening it to make it clear that it's not just about Dominique. This is a much bigger issue and systemic issue that we have to address. Knowing that those voices were going to come through in the press coverage, it felt like a very important moment.
Dominique also had the opportunity to participate in a legislative committee process. There was a bill in the Illinois legislature that was an anti-doxing bill.
I felt it was very important to speak up and tell my story as well as others, so that it brings more awareness to the issue.
You could hear a pin drop when she was testifying, and that bill passed. It passed both chambers and was signed into law. And that's very much due to the experience that Dominique shared.
Ascend Justice does a great job in assembling a village. If there was no village, my story wouldn't be public right now.
There are so many people who have experienced what Dominique has experienced, and through her voice, through her story sharing, through her advocacy, she is ensuring that others will feel more hopeful about the situation they're enduring, and she is creating real change.
No one can do it alone. Everyone needs help. And when you are trying to break a cycle of violence, it helps to have a community. And you need all sorts of advocates, but certainly in the legal system. Having experienced counsel can be a true difference maker in ensuring you get the justice that you deserve.
The work is urgent because it impacts individual lives. One day could make a huge difference in the life of a survivor of domestic violence. It could be the difference between life and death. Your support tells our clients that you believe them, that their experiences matter, and that we can do something about it.
We all have something to contribute, and we should find a way to contribute what we can. And as an attorney, pro bono services are one of the top ways that we can give back.
Ascend Justice has literally been a godsend, and I couldn't be more grateful to have been introduced to such services.